Zero GM guys. So yeah, for the last two session, we have been going through the zero G storage architecture and also the zero G compute architecture, how it is efficient and why we need that, all the necessary details to go into it. Currently, we do have some SDKs that we also discussed on the previous sessions, but when it comes to the SDK and getting started with the documentation, not all can start with the SDK. So it might be a little complicated to start with that. So there are some pushes needed from our side to get it started. So that's where the starter kits come into play. So we do have starter kits for everything. Let's start and dive deep into the session. So yeah. So as you know, we in our main core thing, so the zero G store, which is a main core architecture of zero G ecosystem, it provides decentralized architecture to store everything in a decentralized way with the enhanced security and also a high reliability. Since we do have decentralized storage, there is no single point of failure like AWS does, and optimization. It is not costlier like RV. It is not a single point of like failure like AWS. So you do get best of both worlds. That's where zero G storage coming. But if we want to integrate, there also we provide multiple starter kits to start with. So we do have two SDKs. One is for the Golang and another one is for TypeScript. The TypeScript SDK is usable from the backend, also from the front end. You can, if you are using with Next.js app or Vite app or any front-end JS framework, you can able to easily integrate TypeScript SDK and use it. Or if you are planning to deploy it in a Node Express server, that's where also TypeScript SDK comes into play, and you can leverage the TypeScript SDK. And if your backend is fully reliable on Go nowadays, uh, due to the concurrencies that is provided by Go, even the TypeScript 7 is now written in Go. The compiler of the TypeScript 7 is more towards Go. So in this case, Go is really an important language, and constantly it is beating up the charts in the Stack Overflow list. So Go SDK provides you the all abstraction that is needed for the upload, download, getting the root hash, everything into the Go with SDK itself. So we do have starter kits that is for all of this use cases. Let's just start with the Go SDK starter kit. So I'll just start dive into the code so that you can get full gist of it. When you go to the starter kit, you can just clone this repo or fork this repo and then start with it. So it has all the updated things that needed for the development. It do have two branches. One is a master branch and second one is the CLI version branch. The first one with the master branch, you can able to get RESTful endpoints. So as we discussed in the previous sessions, you will get a RESTful endpoint with Swagger support. With the Swagger, we can able to easily identify which API is for which one, and we can able to update it. So let me, yeah. And when it comes to the CLI branch, it provides the CLI version where you can get all the function that is running in the CLI with the help of Go. So we also created a README where you can able to easily point out which function works for which one. So if you can see here, here is the client setup. So this is the starting of the program where you will be setting up the indexer client. That is the constructor that is needed to do all of the operation like upload or download. After setting up, while uploading, you will be getting the file and uploading it. So you will just calling this function. That's it. That will do the process. And yeah, when it comes to the download, that's the same thing. You will call the download file and pass the temporary hash. And if you want to name the file, you can just pass the name, or else just leave it. It will use the same root hash as the name. Then it will be completed. So that's how this things will work. If you go to the CLI version, it will has its own README file that has all the details, how the CLI version of it works. So how to initiate it, how to select the node, how to upload the file, and if you want to use the CLI version, how to use this. So what are the command line options available? All the necessary details are already in the starter kit. So you can just clone it and start away with it with uploading anything to the zero-G storage. So everything is available here for you. So let's come back to this. So as I said in the Go SDK starter kit, you will get the server implementation. You can able to spin up a server. You will have Swagger documentation. You can upload a file, download a file, or view anything. So that is available there, all the file operations, and also the CLI operations. So that are available there. If you are doing any backend services or API services or any data processing things with Go, or your server previously relies on the Go, then it is better to use the Go SDK to get started with it. So here is the repo link. We'll also post the links after this session, so you can able to check it out. This is a public repo. You can also go to the Zero-G Labs organization repo and you can check it out. We'll share the link after the session anyway. Yeah. Next thing is the TypeScript SDK. When it comes to the TypeScript is a vast language, I would say, because it's a superset of JS. JS is itself, it will run on anything. So it's a language that much popular. You do have React Native to run everything on mobile platforms. You do have frameworks to make JS better in the browser environment. You do have platforms to run it in the server environment. So everywhere JS is running. And TS is a superset of that to enhance the JS performance. So that's why we choose the TypeScript. And mostly in Web3, everyone prefers TypeScript, and most of the projects are running in TypeScript. So we decided to build the SDK for the TypeScript users. So in this SDK, as like the Go SDK, you will also get the all file operation interfaces. So we do have a starter kit for TS SDK also. Let me go to the code first. So this is the storage TS SDK starter kit. It will also follow the same pattern. So there is a master branch with all the implementation that are done with the REST API. You do get the Swagger documentation, so you can just spin it out and get it running and able to check it. And CLI version. So as like the Go SDK, you will get clear functions, which are all the functions that is used inside and which is responsible for upload, initialization, download, every aspects of the code. So that are added here. And when it comes to CLI version, so it also has the same things. And if you do want to use directly in a CLI, you can able to use the same project for the CLI version. So it has the flags to pass private key, files to upload, and all the command options that are available are listed here. So you can use it as CLI also anytime. On the TypeScript SDK starter kit, you get all the web APIs and CLI tools. Mostly this is used when you have the Node.js backend or Node.js that is running in the TypeScript backend, or any JavaScript scripting or tooling that you have done, you can able to choose this TypeScript SDK and utilize the zero-G storage into your platform. So that might be the cases for it. Let's move on to the next starter kit. So that is this is web app starter kit. This web app starter kit is also using the TS SDK. We don't have separate SDK for it. We are using same SDK, but that SDK that you can also use it in front-end environment and also in the back-end environment. So that's the beauty of that. But this web app starter kits comes with all the necessary configuration that you needed to run this SDK in any environment. So it has the Webpack config. You can use the same Webpack config in any other projects that you are running, not only the Next.js, any other projects. And it already comes with the wallet integration that you need. And also it has the custom React hooks. So let's check the project and we'll get an understanding of it. So here is the web starter kit. When it comes to the web starter kit, so this is written in Next.js. So you can able to see which are all the components that it is using and what is the function of it. We do have modules that are used for file calculation, fees calculation, and uploading, loading, and how to show the progress, transaction hash. Everything has a function in it, so you can just directly use it out. Here, if you see, we do have the API SDK layer. Here it has how you can convert a file into a blob, and you do have functions to create the Merkle trees, and you do have functions to create the root hash, and there are functions to calculate the fees. There are functions to manage the network. Even if comes the mainnet or new RPCs, you can able to use the same functions and use it. There are functions for upload and download, and we do have hooks for it. If you love React, Next, anything, you will be loving it. So we'll have simple 4 hooks. With the use wallet function, you can easily manage the wallet connection. The hydrations are handled natively there. So you don't have to worry about the file is there and I need to handle the hydration. So everything is handled for you. So you can just call the use wallet function and get away with it. And use fees function, you can pass in any file. It will calculate the blob size, Merkle tree, root calculation, everything for you, and also gives you the fees that it needs. You just use this tool. That's it. And for uploading any file, you need to use upload hook. You can also this use upload hook is also compatible with file drop zone uh, UI element. So you can use the same UI element if you want to use it in your app or something. And use download hook that requires some name or root hash. So with this thing, this will also help you to download any files either from standard storage or from the turbo storage. And we do have some components like fees showing uploading card, downloading card, everything. If you want that, you can also use it out. So we do have usage example, how to use this hooks, how to use the file upload hook, download hook, everything is added here. And for running any front-end project, we just need the project ID. This project ID can be get from any Wallet Connect account. You will just need to create a Wallet Connect account and get a new project ID and add it here. It will work like a charm. So that's on this web starter kit. So as I said to you before, it is fully written in the Next.js. You can also use it for other Vite or any other programs. Since all the Webpack configurations are there, you can just copy paste the configuration and it will work like charm. If you are using React or Next.js, you can just directly start with this project. Since it has all the hooks that you necessarily needed, you can just use the hooks and you will be get started with the uh, SDK. Even the S3 SDK doesn't have any hooks. You need to write your own function, but the zero G storage has everything that you to get started. So yeah, now let's come to the next part of the zero G ecosystem, that is the zero G compute. We do have SDK for the zero G compute. Currently, we are supporting only TypeScript SDK. As I mentioned before, TypeScript is the widely used language among the Web3. So we prefer to gone into the TypeScript SDK. And now the TypeScript SDK is also stable. Everyone is using it since. So the types, we do have TypeScript SDK starter kit for the compute that includes the account management, ledger initialization, and also the server implementation. How to do the request and response, all the things are added into it. Let me show you the starter kit for it. So here is the compute starter kit. So as like the previous backend starter kits, this is also a backend starter kit, but you can also use a web version of it. And we are also working on the web version, so that will be coming soon. So um, here in this TypeScript SDK, we do have two branches. One is the API implementation with the Express framework. You do have Swagger documentation. So you can able to easily tell which API is working for which one. And for every function, we have defined all the commands and how it is working. So you can use individual function or you can also create your own function. So that is possible here. So when it comes to the compute setup, we need to create the initialize the broker and deposit funds into the broker and list the service. We do have multiple service that is listed in the marketplace. Anyone can provide their own service into the marketplace with their model and with their data sets. So with that in mind, we do have multiple models, including our official one model like Llama and DeepSeek R1 that is hosted by us. There are other providers, they provide multiple models to us. So anyone can use anything. So once they deposited the fund, they can able to list the service. Once it is listed, they need to select the service name, service address, and pass the service address to get the metadata, what the model it is and the endpoint to hit for it. Once it is ready, they can use the provider address to get the request header. So this is the request header that is used for authentication. So the endpoint is just for communication. So it will not change anytime. For a single provider address or for a single model, the endpoint will not change. But this headers will change for every request. So before every request, we need to trigger this and get the headers accordingly. So here the great thing what we have did is we have used the same OpenAI SDK. So if you have any application that is already running on OpenAI, or if you are using OpenAI SDK to run with other LLMs, you can just, you don't have to change anything at all. You just need to include 3-4 lines of code before that and change endpoint from the OpenAI one to this one. So that's the thing. You don't have to specify any AP key. Your function will work like charm. So it will work without no changes, without no to minimal changes. So once the OpenAI connection is established, we are querying with the request that we have. And once it is done, we'll get the completion answer. We'll we can also process the response. Since we are providing the TEML, that is Structured Executed Environment Machine Learning, we can able to pass the content again, and we can able to verify whether it is correctly done or not with zero G chain consensus. So that's the best case. Even though it is running in a decentralized way, we can able to verify whether the thing is done correctly or not. And we are also working on the OPML and ZKML in the future. But if in case the OPML and ZKML are coming into this space also, you don't have to change anything in the SDK. The SDK will remain the same. It is designed in the way and to keep future in mind. So we don't have to change anything. It will work automatically. So that's the thing with this Compute Starter SDK. And as I said, it also has the CLI version. So it's the same thing. We do have the functions, which one doing which one, initialize wallet, deposit funds, and then service discovery, listing the service, and querying the service. So that's the flow. If you want to use it as a CLI, you can directly fork this application and use it in your CLI, just passing these commands. We do have all the query options and the commands that is listed here. You can just clone it out and use it for yourself. So that is on the Compute SDK part. This. Maybe I think something wrong with awesome. Yeah. Meantime, until you please continue. Yeah. Right. Just and then guys, questions, please do drop in the chat. I know we are 5 to moments. We just quickly conclude the session and it's awesome. Please, yeah. Just drop it in the chat. Please continue. Yeah. Thank you, Gautam. So as we said in the previous thing, usefulness of this starter kits is we have already added all the error things that you have needed. As I said in the hooks case, all the error has been already handled, all the toast, all the things has been there. So you don't have to look for any errors or failing cases. Everything has been handled for you with clear error messages. So once you start with the starter kit, within 2 to 5 minutes, you can able to get your apps up and running. So this will be good for the rapid prototyping. If you have any ideas in mind with the storage or compute that you want to do, you can just clone the repo within hours. Your idea will be in the live. If you want to start integrate anything into the zero G ecosystem into your previous dApps, this will help speed up the process. And this will also include the best practices that are recommended by our tech team. So it will also help you boost up the workflow. And everything is available in the GitHub repository of the Zero G Labs. And all the details regarding this starter kits is also available in the documentation. So we do also share it in the Discord community. So after this call, we'll share all the links